pentoxide with reacted with water, which gives us phosphoric acid. So let's say we have 5 grams of phosphoric pentoxide. So how much grams of phosphoric acid we will produce? So what we're first going to do, we would write how many grams, the information that they gave us, which is 5 grams of phosphoric pentoxide, 5 grams of phosphoric pentoxide. And so what we want to know is how many grams of phosphoric acid we will gain or we will produce. So times. So we know that we want to get rid of the gram of phosphoric pentoxide and we want to be left with gram of phosphoric acid. So how should we do that? First, we want to get rid of the grams. To do so, we know that phosphor in the periodic table, it has 30.974 grams, and we know you can look that up from your periodic table. And oxygen has an atomic number of 8 and has a gram of 16. So to do so, for the phosphoric pentoxide, the gram of it, let's say the weight, it will be phosphor times 2 because we have 2 phosphor, and oxygen times 5. Using your calculator, just give me a second, I will do that using my calculator. So 30.974, which is the atomic mass of the phosphor times 2 because we have 2 phosphor plus oxygen, which has 16 times 5 oxygens, which would give us 141.9 grams of phosphoric pentoxide. And then, so now what we can see, we can cancel the gram of phosphoric pentoxide. And the next step would be, because we have 1 gram of this, 1 mole, sorry, so that's 1 mole of pentoxide, because those need to be equal to each other. So 1 gram of phosphoric pentoxide, 1 mole of phosphoric pentoxide would give us 141.9 grams of phosphoric pentoxide. So those are equal. We would time this by 1 mole of phosphoric pentoxide. Let's say this. And in the equation, we can see we have 1 phosphoric pentoxide reacting with 3 oxygen, which give us 2 phosphoric acid. So we can write 2 phosphoric acid, the moles. So if we would use this equation, we will get the mole of the phosphoric acid that we will produce. But because we have the question wants the gram of it, we will time this by 1 mole of phosphoric acid. So this is not how to. And 1 mole of phosphoric acid equals how many grams of phosphoric acid? We have hydrogen is 1 gram, so 3 plus potassium, which is 30.97. You can see this in here, plus oxygen, which is 16 times 4, using your calculator. It will give you an answer of 97.974 gram of phosphoric acid. And so this would be, we would put all of those numbers in our calculator. 1 more. Always pay attention to your units, because your units need to cancel out to be left with the wanted unit, which is in this case the wanted unit is the gram of phosphoric acid. Seven gram of phosphoric question with the same reactants. We have, let's say we have 12 times 10 power negative 3 mole of water reacted with the equation, which is, in this case, it reacted with the phosphoric pentoxide. And so how many grams of phosphoric pentoxide we need to get the reactants that we had, the 2 moles of phosphoric acid. So what we're going to do is always write the number that they gave us. So mole of H2O, which is water, and we want to know how many grams of phosphoric pentoxide we need. So we want to know how many grams, yeah. So we want to convert this into grams, or do we keep that as moles? Well, if you put 1 mole of, in this equation we have 3 moles of water, so we're 3 moles of water plus H2O, and then because I want to convert it to phosphoric pentoxide, I will just write how many moles of phosphoric pentoxide we have, just 1 mole of phosphoric pentoxide. And then you want to convert it to grams because the question wants the grams one, it doesn't want the mole of the phosphoric pentoxide, so we will times this by 1 mole phosphoric pentoxide, and we want to know how many grams is in 1 mole, and to do so we will do phosphoric phosphor, which has, I guess it's the 15 element in the periodic table, which has 30.974 atomic mass, and for oxygen it is the, I guess, the 8th element and has 16 grams, and so 1 mole would equal the gram that, okay, let me explain that. So 1 mole of the phosphoric pentoxide will give us so because we have 2 phosphorus, I will do 30.974 plus 16 times 5, which would give us 101.94 grams of phosphoric pentoxide. So 1 gram of phosphoric pentoxide would equal 141.94. Let's round this to 142. 142 grams of phosphoric pentoxide. So let's write 142 of pentoxide. Let's see the units. So mole of water with mole of water. We cancelled water. Phosphoric pentoxide, mole with phosphoric pentoxide. We are left with grams of phosphor pentoxide, which what the question was. So writing that into your calculator, which would give you an answer of 0.568. 0.568 grams of phosphoric pentoxide. Easy as this. If you have any questions, please write it down in the comments and I will try to answer your questions, and I hope that was helpful. Thank you.